a very, very happy and a healthy 2024 to all of you. At the outset, I would like to congratulate and wish PES University, Dr. Jauhar, Dr. Doraiswamy, the esteemed faculty members, all of you students, distinguished alumni, parents, proud grandparents. This is indeed a momentous occasion for all of you to celebrate the Golden Jubilee. So, first of all, congratulations to all of you. Let's give a round of applause. I'm very pleased to share the stage with such luminaries. Mr. B.V. Jagdish has seeded not just funds, but he's also seeded a lot of ideas and growth for so many companies. Thank you, Mr. Jagdish, for your wonderful ideas and thoughts around the $10 trillion economy. We just heard Mr. Sudhanshu Mani, who's given to the nation innovation in such a way that it prods us to think, not just at the speed of sound and light, but also aspire us to travel at that speed as well. Thank you so much, sir. Now, thinking of trains, it kind of takes me back to nostalgia, childhood. All my vacations, they have been filled with train journeys, wonderful memories. And this year too, I decided to take my year-end vacation between Christmas to New Year. I was off, taking my retreat. Any guesses where I went to? Of course, Mani sir, I'm not asking you this question because I'm sure you'll know the answer. Any guesses where this one was? Yes, I do hear that very loud and clear. Darjeeling, Himalayan Railway it is. The eastern part of India, such a beautiful part of our country, which is filled with such greenery and peace. Now, to get to the eastern part of India, though I didn't take the train, I had to fly. So I decided to book on Akasha Air Flight, which was founded in 2021. So I'm going to take you with me on this journey that I did very recently. I booked a Blue Smart cab, an all-electric company which was founded in 2019. My journey to the airport was pretty seamless because I also had access to DigiLocker. All the digital documents that I needed were right with me. I didn't have to, have multiple bags, one for my identity card, this, that, document certificate. All of it was quickly packed into the DigiLocker and very easily accessible. And once I got to the airport, no more fear of crowds because the entry was very seamless with DigiYatra. Powered and architected by Data Evolve, a 6-year-old Hyderabad-based company. DigiYatra has simplified access and security for so many of us. And once I was in, all that remained was to board the plane. And this seamless transition, a seamless customer experience, an exhilarating start to my journey was powered by many companies, many startups which are working very closely with the Bangalore International Airport, one of which is Zest IoT. This is one of our portfolio companies at CISCO, and they've been working to improve the amount of time it takes for the planes to get back onto the skies immediately so that it's very easier to have fast and optimized traffic of the planes. Okay, so all said and done, my journey had started with a breeze of innovation. So much of startup innovation had already touched me, and so all it remained was for me to feel the breeze of Eastern India. Eastern India was very welcoming. The roads were so good, especially the ones which are built by BRO, the Border Roads Organization, were flawless. But other roads could hardly be called roads. The infrastructure was not so much to the mark, perhaps because of the landscape. So many landslides that plague the region, the mountainous activity there, it's all plaguing the terrain that people are operating in. So I do understand that there is, an inherent challenge in maintaining the road infrastructure in these areas. power was pretty scarce. There were probably a couple of power lines here and there, but we had to do with minimal amount of electricity and conserve them. But I have to share this with you. Two things were omnipresent in the eastern part of India. Number one was the Indian Army. The soldiers, they were braving such an inhospitable terrain. They were braving the weather, the cold, biting conditions, and they were there guarding all of us. So huge salute to the Indian Army soldiers who are guarding us. The second omnipresent thing there was mobile data. The connectivity was seamless there. Despite the road highway being absent, I had seamless access to digital highway. So that's wonderful, isn't it? So I could actually navigate through the streets of the eastern Indian region through electric vehicles. And this was a surprise to me that there was so much proliferation of EVs in the eastern region, and I loved shopping. I loved shopping for all the local specialties there, and I could pay for all of them using UPI. I did not have to carry cash. I did not have to worry about where the next ATM was. I could, really shop to my heart's content. This really prodded me to think that innovation and disruption and technology's forte was just not our Namma Bengaluru. We are seeing this inclusion that technology is bringing in, innovation is bringing in to such far-flung areas. And I did not stop with that. This was at the Indo-Sikkim border. And here I was happily singing to my heart's content. I was singing this song and, in fact, uploading this on YouTube as well. So let me just sing a few lines for you from this song, and you can, of course, check the full version on YouTube. Maitrim bhajata akila hrijetrim, Maitrim bhajata akila hrijetrim, Atmavadeva paranapi pashyata, Yudham tyajata spardham त्यजत परेष्वाक्रममाक्रमणं, मैत्रीं भजत अखिल हृजयत्रीं. So, thank you. This was a song much popularized by the much famed musician Srimati M.S. Subbulakshmi, composed by Kanchi Paramacharya. She sung this at the UN Day, at the UN General Assembly in 1966. And this song is a very meaningful one to be singing here at this border, because it's a very debatable border that we're all concerned about in terms of security. So it was a very hearty wish for peace, for collaboration, and well-being for all of us. So now, talking of the role of United Nations now takes me to an adjacent topic of the Sustainability Development Goals. They have clearly laid out 17 huge areas of focus that we have to be focusing on, not just as individual, but as a nation, as a planet for the prosperity, and for safeguarding it for the future. I think this is very, very imminent. So while the United Nations have laid out these 17 goals, I want to take a few seconds to talk about some of our work that we've done at CISCO, because we think it's very, very important to focus, given the guidance and the charter that United Nations have laid it for us. If you take a look at the goal number 3, we at CISCO worked with a startup called Tesla Technologies, providing access to telehealth during the COVID timeframe. We were able to save several lives of not just patients, but of doctors as well. And this was not just in Bangalore. We were able to take this to many, many other areas where, quality healthcare was not easily accessible. We continue to kind of do many other initiatives as well, in the EICU space, partnering with a company called Cloud Physician, who were offering their EICU services, which were very specialized services. And this was taken all the way 24,000 feet high up in the Himalayas and in the deepest jungles of Assam. And to our own neighborhood in Ramnagara, these solutions are live. And we are very proud of such collaborations, such disruptive innovations that we've actually engaged in very meaningfully. The third one that I want to talk about is in the agri space with SatSure. I'm sure my next speaker is also going to talk about it and touch about it in detail on climate change. But I think that's most important. We can't eat money at the end of the day. We are dependent on the food on the plate, and what we are empowering our farmers to do is going to feed us back. And with this thought, we decided to partner with SatSure to bring together the power of satellite technologies and soil technologies so that we can give data-driven visibility not just to the farmers, but also to the village administration, and hence drive more funding for the farmers through financial institutions. Very, very fulfilled when we were able to achieve such kind of partnerships. But I think, my vacation did tell me that this is not enough. The 17 goals already is like a big checklist for us to look at, and we can't do this alone. None of us can do this alone. And there is much more scope to do that. Water is a huge luxury, I would say. Not just in Bangalore, in the eastern region where there are so many mountainous terrains, water is a luxury. Clean, accessible, portable water is definitely a luxury. Think of electricity. And these are all actual pictures that I have shot from my camera, so excuse if the quality is not great, but these are the situations on the ground. Energy is very important in such regions, especially when you have to heat up your homes, when you have to light up these homes. It's just not about the transition, it's about transmission, it's about monitoring, it's about optimizing. And these are just not challenges, there are so many opportunities in all of these areas that lie before us. Think of mobility. We've had such interesting conversations about sustainable transportation. I think one of the key things is multimodality with respect to mobility. No one single means of transportation can sustain all of us, the population growth that we are seeing, the places that we want to get to. I think it's very critical to have multimodal access in all of these regions. Now, I want to take a step back and touch upon Mr. Jagdish's point where he spoke about anchors. He spoke about startup anchors, but I would take a 10,000-foot view into this. Now, there is a pattern here that when there are such problems of such huge scale, governments are coming in, corporates, industries are coming in, academia is aligning. And the best part is today, startups are also aligning into this stream. They are bringing in disruptive innovation to solve for such challenges. Now, if we look at this multimodality challenge in terms of mobility, we have answers. We have an e-plane which is already in construction. It's a work in progress. It's an IIT Madras startup which is going to give us access to flying taxi very soon. So you have an alternative next time you're caught in the Bangalore traffic jam. It's going to really help us. Ambulances will definitely find their way sooner and save patients. Medical essentials will get faster to the needy. And maybe we can also get our samosas delivered while we are stuck in the traffic jam if we get some miniature versions of this e-plane. Now you may think, hey, are these e-planes now trying to compete with SUVs? Perhaps sometime in the future, but definitely not today, because this is what Deccan Herald is telling us, that EV registrations in 2023 have been a record number. And these are not just two-wheelers or four-wheelers, passenger vehicles, these are also covering the freight segment, the commercial segment. where there is a larger need to streamline activity for commercial purposes. So I think the EV wave has kind of struck us all. This is the second anchor, right, where you're seeing the government coming in with conducive policies, coming in with a lot of infrastructural support, not just in the metros. This was a picture that I shot in the eastern region of India. Aether connectivity is right there in the eastern region as well. So if such innovations can go to the farthest ends of our country, I'm very sure that we can definitely reach the impact of all of these innovations across the world. UPI, who has not spoken about it? We have brought this to the world. We've made the heads of the world turn. And if you again look at this, the governmental framework has aligned together not just the power of Indian startups like Paytm or PhonePe, but even the multinationals have aligned to this. Google Pay, Amazon Pay, everybody has aligned into the UPI framework. And this is going to be the trend, definitely. Chandrayaan. This trend has very visibly come into the space technology segment as well. Not only did we have a visionary government leading the way, but a lot of the components, like the landing camera, the propulsion system, many of these came in from startups like Anant Tech, M-Star Tech, Paras Defense. We should be proud of all of our achievements. That brick by brick, innovation by innovation, we are actually reaching our pathway into the moon. So now, I think it's an inflection point. Before I come to this, I have a call to action. I want to discuss about the startup trends. This is all where we are today. This is the placement season as well for most of the students here. And you have a choice to get into cozy companies, dream companies, and the other to start a startup. I'll give you a few more points in terms of why you should actually be, going into the startup way. As part of the Startup India Seed Fund, which I'm an executive advisory committee member, we've infused 300 crores across the country. We have seen SIDBI injecting 16,647 crores to boost 881 startups. There are 40 state-level funds today. In fact, this is a massive improvement given that only 4 states had a state-level policy way back in 2016. And today this has spanned across 31 states across the country. We have an active state government policy specifically for startups. Did you know that as on 1st Jan 2024, there are 1,15,000 recognized startups in India? And the first 15,000 of them came in 1,110 days. It took over 3 years for the first 15,000 companies to get formed. Any guesses? How long did the last or the latest 15,000 companies to come in? Any numbers? Any guesses? Any other numbers? Not very close. It took a mere 178 days for the latest 15,000 companies in India to be created. So that is the motion, that is the buzz that's happening in India today. So it's a now or never moment. But I would also want to, give you 2 additional bonus points. We all love these numbers, right? 22,000 of them have been registered on GEM portal. So we're not just creating startups for the sake of creating startups, not just for the fun of it. We are doing real business. We are transforming the world around us. We are transforming our own society for our betterment using these innovations. Now this GEM is a portal which is created by the government of India through which they procure innovations from startup and they deploy it around us. So it's an amazing number to see that 250,000 orders worth 20,000 crores have actually been generated through this. So I don't think I'll have to show a bigger treasure or a kitty for those aspiring entrepreneurs there. It's a call to action. It's a clear call to action for all of you here that you just follow a simple 3-step process. You may ask me, how do I go about it? Just a simple 3-step process. Perceive, look around you, recognize what the opportunities are. Second, go ahead, build. Use all possible technologies, bring together a great team and build market-relevant solutions. We just heard, a lot of insights on product market fit. This is very key. Build market-relevant solutions. And finally, strive to stay on there and nurture and grow the business. Because this is very critical in not just success, but also overcoming failures, which is a very important learning in our journeys. Now, if you think, hey, you're just talking out of a textbook, I'm sure, a lot of you may be thinking that, but no, I'm not. Because there are people around you, there are people sitting right next to you who are PES students who've been there, done that. Can I request Ananya, Rahul, Abhilash, if you guys are around here, can you just stand up? We want to give you all a round of applause, please. Excellent, congratulations. I now have $1 billion question. The nation wants to know. The world wants to know. Today we have 3 names on this slide. The next time I'm here on this stage, how many more of you will be on this slide? Can I have some of you standing up if you want your photos to be on this slide? Who wants to be the aspiring entrepreneurs, inspiring many, many others? Go ahead and stand up and show your passion, enthusiasm. Excellent. I conclude with inspiration from Swami Vivekananda. Arise, awake, and stop not till your disruptive innovation is unleashed. Thank you.